Hello and welcome to today's live session. Today we're going to be diving into strategies for CEOs to stay engaged and curious. Our lives are constantly evolving, right? And so maintaining a mindset of growth and curiosity isn't just beneficial, it's essential for sustaining our drive and our enthusiasm. Hi, I'm Leslie Gadet, self care strategist for female entrepreneurs. I'm committed to empowering my clients by helping them incorporate systems that transform daily stress and constant overwhelm into clarity and calm while also creating space for personal fulfillment, ensuring that my clients they're present for their life's important moments both in business and beyond because that's what we want, right? We don't get into business for quantity but more quality. My journey has taught me that managing our personal and professional lives demands more than just hard skills. It requires continuous growth and learning. And today, I'm really excited to share with you how this ongoing learning has transformed my approach to life and leadership. I've experienced firsthand the challenges and pressures of a high stakes corporate environment as a legal assistant and paralegal, where I've been in the industry for over 4 decades. I still have a footprint as an independent consultant, but I still understand those challenges where that relentless demand has led to burnout for me on more than one occasion. It wasn't until I finally had enough and I stepped away from my full time position where I was working for someone else and took my first step into entrepreneurship that I truly understood the importance of self care and continuous learning as part of that. And then, as well as taking back my time, because that opened up my time to really take a closer look at the life I was living and the changes I needed to make for more quality of life. This shift not only renewed my professional life force, but it also restored my personal well being. So, now the goal today is to explore practical strategies that can help you as a CEO or leader integrate continuous learning into your life and how this commitment to lifelong education can prevent feelings of stagnation and disconnect that often go unrecognized as signs of burnout. So let's begin and explore how we can keep our minds sharp and our spirits engaged by fostering a culture of curiosity and continuous improvement in our lives. In my journey, first let me tell you about a personal story for me because it really helped me to understand that learning is growing. In my journey, that pivotal moment came last year when I discovered a structured approach to intentional learning. It was during a masterclass that was led by Brendan Burchard, who introduced me to the idea of having a dedicated learning calendar. This was a game changer for me. I took this concept to heart and I crafted a personal learning schedule, a calendar that focused on 12 areas I was passionate about improving. Each month, I dedicate myself to a new topic, ranging from enhancing motivation, mastering time management, setting and achieving financial goals, understanding the science behind burnout prevention, diving into neuroscience. Those are just some of the topics that I want to learn more about. This approach has transformed not just my professional life, but also my personal growth. It's allowed me to stay curious and engaged, continuously pushing the boundaries of my knowledge and my skills. And more importantly, it's helped me to manage and mitigate the risks of burnout by keeping my daily routine fresh and exciting. So far this year, each new topic has brought a sense of renewal and invigoration. And it reminds me that learning is truly growing. And by me dedicating time each month to a new area of interest, I'm ensuring that my development is constant and each step forward is helping me to be more well-rounded, a more well-rounded leader and individual. So first, let me explain what continuous learning is beyond the traditional academic settings. For me as a businesswoman, continuous learning involves a proactive approach to educating yourself through incorporating informal learning opportunities such as podcasts, articles, reading books, webinars, as well as experiential learning through new projects and challenges. Knowledge becomes obsolete quickly, right? So when you find yourself in the role of CEO of your business and or a leader in your industry or your community, for example, then staying updated with the latest trends, technologies, and methodologies is crucial, not just for personal competence, but also for maintaining a competitive edge. Continuous learning fosters adaptability and agility, qualities essential for thriving in the fast paced world we find ourselves in today. However, I also believe that continuous learning embodies surrounding yourself with experts in their field. As an example, Henry Ford, the one who created the vehicle, the personal driving vehicle, all those many decades ago. He didn't know everything. He wasn't well educated, but what he had a great grouping of friends that all were experts in their fields. So that was, the mastermind. How Napoleon Hill talks about the mastermind principle, right? Of bringing together a group of people who have skill sets in areas that you don't. And I think that's amazing because we all can support each other and learn from each other. And so what I loved about this was that I believe that continuous learning for myself has also embodied me bringing in people into my circle that are experts in their field. So I don't have to know everything, but I have the resources to pull on. So there are benefits, of course, of embracing a continuous learning mindset because it enhances professional competence. Regularly updating your skills and your knowledge base will help you make informed decisions and drive your innovation within your organizations. It helps with preventing burnout because when you engage in new learning opportunities, it can rejuvenate your passion for your work, turning routine tasks into exciting challenges, which also helps in maintaining mental health by breaking the monotony that often leads to burnout. Symptoms of burnout, most people don't even know that they are in a burnout phase. I have one that I'm going to be talking about next week. I'm not going to talk about it today, but I am going to be talking about it next week because it's something that I recently it was revealed to me. And I think it's really, really important that we talk about it. But today I want to really just talk about around when it comes to work related, when it comes to life in general, like personal and professional life. The symptoms of burnout are things like, you start to feel like disconnected from what you're doing. Maybe you're less motivated. You find you're procrastinating. You find you're tired and irritable. You find that things that used to bring you joy no longer bring you joy. You feel like you might want to quit doing some of the things. You might be second guessing yourself constantly and not believing in your own abilities to do things. These are like symptoms of burnout that most people don't even recognize is really like a burnout phase. But because we're looking at those as symptoms, the things that we're going through, we're not looking at it that the bigger overall objective, or I should say the bigger overall issue is that we're in a burnout phase. And so I often talk about this because, as I said, a lot of people don't recognize the signs immediately as being a burnout phase that they are going through. And then there's that personal growth aspect and developing of new interests because I'm getting away from burnout now because I know, like, again, I talk about burnout a lot. I know, and I think it's really important. I'm going to continue talking about it because I really feel that we all have a burnout story. We just a lot of the time don't recognize it as a burnout story until we start talking about it with someone who understands it, that this is in their wheelhouse. Like I was saying, having people who are experts in their fields around specific topics. And so that's why I really feel like it's important. Again, getting back to that whole mastermind thing, knowing that it's important to bring those people in. That's resources that you get to pull on, and then that's a benefit, right, of having that type of mindset and having that continuous learning mindset. And so let's get into, as I was saying, the personal growth aspect and the developing of new interests. And this encourages personal development, which can lead to discovering new areas of interest that can diversify your skills and your experiences, which enriches both your personal and your professional life. For like, it's like a ripple effect, if you will. Like what we do to enhance our lives often will enhance the lives of others because we're showing up as a better version of ourselves. So, some practical strategies for integrating learning into your business schedule could be I've got three things I want to talk about because I think these are really, really important, which will really help, I think, to stay creative, to keep your mind sharp, keep your focus, keep your interest up. So, first is time management. I know a lot of people don't, when they look at time management, they're thinking, what doesn't really go with continuous learning. But I really feel like if you learn how to manage your time effectively, you are going to actually have more freedom of your time to do other things. So prioritizing learning, especially in your calendar, like I do now, I've started adopting this principle of having 12, blocks of or bricks on my calendar that are around specific learning things that I want to learn more about to level up my skill sets. So when you schedule the learning on your calendar as a priority, like any other activity, um, whether you set aside an hour a week for reading something that you're learning around something new, or maybe you use your commute time, maybe you drive to and from an actual shared work environment or a shared space, or to an actual brick and mortar, or you just, when you're on errands, using your commute time to listen to educational podcasts or audiobooks, and help yourself make learning a non-negotiable part of your routine. I always say that one of the first things that you should do is really put self-care on your calendar, and I feel that learning is a piece of self-care that you can do for yourself. So putting that on your calendar, and structuring your time so that you're learning something. Learning is growing. It keeps you engaged and focused and creative, and takes away that stagnation. The second thing is what I want to talk about is leveraging technology and resources. So, online platforms that offer courses and webinars tailored for executives, apps that offer micro learning or condensed information can be excellent resources for learning on the go. One of the things that I did very way back in the day when I first started when I got into coaching. Um, Now, this is part of my journey that was really frustrating. But as I look back, I had a wealth of knowledge that I was collecting. So what I was doing back in the day was I collected a lot of different uh, classes. I would sign up for webinars, which had resources that I downloaded, or I bought different classes, like master classes that I never really watched or didn't finish, or courses that I never really watched or started or finished. And so now I'm finding myself going back and finding this wealth of knowledge that actually I could start seeing, like, how could this fit into my calendar of learning, my 12 months of learning. And I found a lot of different things that I was able to put on my calendar that are really interesting and exciting for me, to keep me motivated and excited, to keep me from stagnating. So I felt that was really great to have that, to actually go back, because I saved everything. I organized my Trello board specifically that way, and then I was able to go in and find these resources. But you can do the same too. Like, if you've got resources, things that you've maybe collected over time, and you never really started, or you never finished it, you can always go back to those and see how could fit into my day now, to keep me engaged and focused, and keep myself growing, learning and growing, right? So that was the second one. The third one is creating a personal learning plan. um, in other words, like, remember I was saying that 12 months of learning. So identify specific areas for growth and set clear objectives. A well structured plan ensures that your learning is aligned with both your career aspirations and your personal goals. And that makes it more applicable and effective. Remember, again, I said I created a 12-month learning calendar that I've been going through now for the past 5 months. And I've loved doing this because I'm being intentional around my continuous learning, around my time around continuous learning again. And so that's really been extremely helpful, but it's also been enjoyable because I can celebrate when I finish learning something new. And it's been quite an experience. So I would recommend that you look into that more and see how you can actually support yourself that way. Now, I know you may feel like you have some obstacles or challenges like time constraints and resource limitations. I know that people say I don't have the time, but a lot of the time, they don't know what's really in their calendar. They think they are using all of their time doing certain things, but when they actually sit down and look at where they're spending their time, they'll find that a lot of their time is actually wasted on things like social media scrolling, getting caught up in things that really are not in alignment with where they're at in their journey right now. So setting those realistic goals around what you want to learn, having that time, looking at, okay, If it's a specific amount of time for, say, like it's a 90-minute masterclass, maybe you do it over 3 days. If it is a course that has, 4 or 5 modules, maybe you do that over like 5 weeks. So you give yourself that time to do it, and it goes into your calendar. So finding those ways to actually fill your calendar with things so that can help you to learn more. I've really found that when I've set realistic goals around it and I put learning into my daily activity, it has made it more attainable for me. When I became intentional around planning my calendar, I really found so much more freedom of my time because I was structuring it. I really do feel like there is freedom in structure. So looking at that, and then also staying committed, holding yourself accountable so you remain committed to your development plan by regularly reviewing and adjusting it to fit changing priorities and interests. Like I always say, that self-care is not a one size fits all model. It really isn't, because we all lead very different lifestyles. We may have some similarities, but there's just differences in our life, and so it has to align with our lifestyles and what we like to do. So finding those things that really actually bring us joy so that they can become a part of our daily routine, so they become habit, right? And things can change, and that is okay. I want you to understand that it is okay if things change. But the old saying that nothing changes if you do nothing is so true. Another way to stay engaged, though, is also by leaning into learning with a community of learners for motivation and support, and holding yourself accountable through regular self assessment. So maybe you are part of a community that they are learning around the same thing, and you say, hey, I'd like to maybe partner up with someone and go through this particular process that we've been going through. Let's do it together. And that can help as well. So, as we wrap up today, I want to do a quick recap. We uncovered that continuous learning goes beyond traditional educational frameworks to include self directed learning and everyday experiences. We discussed the benefits, such as enhanced professional competence, prevention of burnout. The symptoms of burnout, remember, that I explained to you, are not necessarily things that we notice as burnout, but they are symptoms, and personal growth through the acquisition of new interests. I shared practical strategies for integrating learning into a busy schedule, emphasizing time management, which is really important, leveraging community, and the importance of a personalized learning plan. We also tackled some common challenges and strategies to overcome them, ensuring continuous learning becomes a sustainable part of your leadership journey. So I encourage you to identify one new area you're curious about. What's one skill or knowledge area you've been putting off exploring? Then I challenge you to make a commitment today to start learning about it. Consider setting specific learning goals for the next month, for the next few months. We're finishing up month 5, so you've got 7 more months. So maybe scheduling out 7 months of learning for the next, well, I guess 7.5 months if you start today, of learning, and allow yourself to have these strategies in place to help you to stay creative and focused and engaged and joyful around showing up every day where you show up. Whether you're reading a new book, you're enrolling in a new course, you're starting a new project, choose something that excites and challenges you. I also have some reflective questions for you as you think more on how learning is growing. So, how can integrating continuous learning into your routine enhance your daily productivity and leadership effectiveness? What long term goals could you achieve by adopting a more rigorous learning agenda? Maybe being intentional. Reflect on a time when learning something new had a significant impact on your professional or your personal life, and how can you replicate that experience regularly? That's it. That's it for today. I want to thank you for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure discussing the power of lifelong learning with you. Remember, the journey of learning never truly ends. It only becomes more enriching and essential as we progress in our careers and our lives. And with that, continuous learning comes with that continuous growth. So let this be a reminder to all of us. Continuous learning shapes our worldview, it influences our decisions, it revitalizes our motivations. Our commitment to learning drives our actions, and those in turn shape our future successes. These principles are not just theoretical, they're practical tools that you as a leader can elevate your effectiveness and satisfaction in your role as the leader, as the business owner, whether again, whether it's in business or whether it's in your personal life. So, on that note, may the strategies discussed today inspire you to integrate learning into your daily routine, enhancing both your leadership capabilities and personal fulfillment. So, carry these thoughts forward and let them inspire you, to embrace every opportunity to learn and grow. Stay connected. Share your progress here in the comments below, and you never know, someone else might be inspired by something that you share, and they're like, oh, I never thought of that, or yeah, I remember I wanted to learn about that. Thank you for the reminder. Remember, our roles as leaders and learners, is and our growth mindset, those are our most powerful assets. So again, remember, sharing your progress so that you can help somebody else, giving them a hand up so that they can get their learning at a whole other level that they may not have been thinking about. I also want to remind you really quickly that I give free 30-minute business wellness consultations. So you can find the link to book a call with me in my headline. That's all for now. Take care, and I'll see you next time.